Have you ever started doing all the right things and then felt worse? You set a boundary, you did the work, and instead of feeling lighter, you felt like you're coming apart. Nobody warns you about that part. Everybody talks about the breakthrough. But nobody really mentions that middle part of healing and how it can feel like you're failing. Today, Suzette walks us through what's happening when growth starts to feel hopeless. And she's lived this one. The mornings she wanted to quit, looking at everything she was doing right, asking, why do I feel worse? If that's where you are, you're in the part nobody films. Welcome to Unafraid Living. I'm Kim. I'm the one asking the questions, but I'm also making sure that we're getting the real answers.
And I'm Coach Suzette, brain health professional, life coach, and your biggest cheerleader for the life you actually want. Together, we're going to quiet the fear and turn up the courage.
Do you know your fear pattern?
Most people don't, but when you do, you start to understand why you overthink, why certain conversations feel impossible, and why you shut down when things get hard.
Well, we have a free 3-minute quiz that tells you exactly which pattern is running your life. And then we send you personalized tools based on your results.
It's the starting point for everything we talk about here.
Take it at unafraidliving.com/quiz. And the link is also in the show notes. We are back, episode 23, and yes, we are talking about the brain again.
Every course, every book, every influencer, every social media post. Don't you see it everywhere?
Yes.
It's the Instagram thing right now. Everybody's talking about the brain, right?
Yes.
And everybody's talking about how do this thing and you're going to have a breakthrough. But you watch the episode or you see the post, but then you go away and things start getting hard and difficult. And so you don't want to keep going. But before you quit, there's probably a lot of tears. And what happens to you, Kim, when you're in the middle part and feeling like you're failing?
Yeah, feeling guilty, feeling bad, wanting to quit, just not thinking I'm doing the right thing.
Right. Because you feel like you're going backwards instead of forwards.
Right.
The thing is that sometimes that happens.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like you're going backwards. You're not going backwards, but you feel like it. Sometimes during that period of time when you are feeling like you're going backwards, you're really moving forward because what you're doing is you're seeing your patterns. Mm-hmm. You're seeing your unhealthy actions that you do, your habits, the habitual things you do day after day, week after week. And they're keeping you stuck. And when you see them, you kind of get mad at yourself, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And when you do that, that puts you in a bad place. And so you feel like you're failing, you're a bad person, you can't do anything right, you're never going to get there. All those things come flooding through your head. But that is just part of moving forward.
That's right. And I think it's with anything, whether it's changing your brain or anything else that you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm. And people push back sometimes because you seem like you're doing worse. Mm-hmm. And so all these things that you've started to do, whether it's taking supplements, a regime of exercise that's a little bit more strenuous than before, maybe people are like, it's too much. You're killing yourself. Don't do it. And so people are pushing back because they knew the old you and you were just fine. They liked you there. But when they see you progressing and moving towards something that you really want, so maybe it's not a health thing, maybe it's a mental thing. Mm-hmm. And they see you're about to become an overachiever. Or maybe I shouldn't say overachiever because that sounds negative, but you're going to be a big achiever. They're not ready for that. They're not ready to be friends with this big achiever because they feel lesser than. So there's some pushback sometimes. It's the really strange phenomena that happens when we're trying to move forward, whether it's health goals, whether it's work goals, life, all the different things that sometimes people want to hold us back.
And do you think they want to hold us back, or is that just something that kind of happens subconsciously?
Both.
Okay.
Both. I definitely think, yes, some people want to hold you back because they want to be the best at everything. They have a fear of other people being better than them. They don't want to be around them. They don't feel as good about themselves. But I don't think that's the case with most people. Okay. I think most people, it's a subconscious thing. And they just like you. They just like you the way you are.
They don't want you to change.
Right. And maybe you're getting a little busier.
True.
Not as much time for them. So maybe their feelings get hurt and they're trying to rein you in.
Okay.
For example, on a health goal for me, I've been there. I've had the brain scan. I've had Lyme. I've had mold in my brain. It's not been fun. And there was a lot of hard work. And it felt like grief and mourning when I heard that I had mold in my brain.
I can imagine.
Yeah. And I think for me, part of the reason that was so difficult, and I really felt like I was going backwards in a big way, is because I'd done so much work already. All the detoxing of my brain in so many different ways, both, changing my eating habits. Well, I wasn't a terrible eater before, but I've become a pretty clean eater.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you have.
And exercising more and changing all of my household cleaning products, my toothpaste, my everything, makeup, everything that touches my body, that I can control. I'm not going to stop living life. I'm going to go, paddleboarding. And if I fall in the lake, I fall in the lake. It's not particularly clean, but, I'm not going to die. I'll come home and take a shower. I'll be okay.
That's right.
But I can control some things. And I had done so much work. So when we found out that we had mold in our house, it was such a setback. And we do have those things, we have setbacks that are real also. And yes, I was moving forward. And I say it was a setback. The thing is the mold was there. I just didn't know it. It was just new information, right?
Yes.
It wasn't actually that this was a new thing. It was just new to me.
And how did that make you feel when you found out you had done all of this stuff and now you have mold too?
I grieved. Yeah, I grieved because I did feel like it was all in vain, that I had done it all in vain. But the truth was, once I got past that and realized, I'm already in a much better place than I would have been. And who knows? I mean, I might have truly lost my mind if I hadn't been detoxing when the mold came. And who knows when the mold came? We don't really know. It probably had been years building up until our dishwasher almost fell through the floor.
That's a really good example. I can't believe that all that has happened to you.
Oh, yeah.
It sucks. It really does. But again, it's really gives you a little more cred on what you're talking about. You've been through this.
Oh, yeah. My brain has changed in big, huge ways. And I've had a scan, so I know what was going on before, and I know how I am now. I did not get another scan, but I kind of want to.
Yeah,
I kind of think it would be fun to see how cleaned up it looks.
Yeah, I want to see that. That'd be so cool. And it'd be cool to share to our listeners too.
So I know that a lot of people out there are probably washing dishes or driving or maybe crying in the parking lot because you just feel like you're stuck, like you're going backwards, like nothing's ever going to be okay again. You feel like you're white knuckling it. That is terrible. And I'm sorry. It hurts. It doesn't feel good to be in that place. I've asked that question many, many times. I hear your pain, and I want to tell you there is hope. You won't be there forever if you keep moving forward. And believing that as you move, you can move forward. You don't have to backpedal.
That is a good point. You're still moving.
Until you're dead.
Right. You're still moving forward either way. And I've heard you talk about the hard part of this, and that's like the rewiring, which we talk about a whole lot. You're doing the work, you're feeling worse, but your brain is rewiring. It's cutting those new grooves.
Yes. Right. Like a truck in the mud going over this grassy field you don't know is muddy. And pretty soon there's ruts. And the more you go on those ruts, the deeper those ruts get. Mm-hmm. And that's like your brain, the ruts in your brain. The more you do the thing, the deeper those ruts get.
Good or bad, right?
Good or bad.
What you're saying is this can be messy.
Very messy. Yes. Have you ever just been walking around a grocery store and all of a sudden you're crying?
No, never. No, I'm just kidding.
Or maybe snapping at your kids. How about that, Kim?
Oh, yes. Come on.
Yeah, we all do things like that. We snap at our kids. We start to cry in the grocery store, or when we're talking with a friend and something triggers us.
Right. Now that has happened to me many times.
Yeah. Or maybe we're just kind of unraveling. Our nervous system doesn't like the new road that we're trying to go down. It's hard.
Right.
It's hard to make changes. But those changes that we make, if we can do them incrementally and not all at once, it doesn't feel so hard. So, and what I mean is do them once, but do that one thing over and over again, over and over again, over and over again, until it becomes the new normal, and move on. And maybe you do a couple things. I'm not going to be one of those people that says you can only do one thing at a time.
Right.
Sometimes you can do more. It just depends on your capacity. And your capacity probably has to do with where you are in your healing journey.
So just an overview. We're trying to change something in our life. We start going forward and it's great. And then all of a sudden we start feeling worse. We feel like we're failing. We can't do anything right. What we're trying to do is not working. We've fallen off the wagon, so to speak. Mm-hmm. But you're saying we're actually rewiring the brain. It doesn't want to be rewired because it's comfortable where it's at. It wants to do something different. It's messy, like cleaning out your closet is messy. It's not a easy, fun, clean thing to do. You pull everything out and it's a mess.
I could tell you a great story about that.
Okay. So right now, we're kind of in the mess as we're doing the change.
That's exactly right, Kim. That is exactly right. And because our brain, it runs on that pattern recognition, it goes where it's comfortable going, whether it's habits or reactions or defaults, everything you do just reinforces those pathways. And when you have to do something that's not automatic, I don't know, I think about driving in the snow and, your car is always an automatic when you're driving around doing your thing. But oh no, now there's snow and we're on a hill and you got to put it into a different gear. And I don't know about you, but we have a car that I have to think like, oh, okay, yes, this is what I do to get it into this gear. Mm-hmm. I can't just move the lever. I have to think to go, oh, press this button, then move this lever, Yes. Mm-hmm. And so it's like more than just that automatic thing. You've got to think differently. You've got to know where you're going. You have to know what you want to achieve and make it happen.
And it's not easy.
Or efficient sometimes. It doesn't even feel efficient.
Right. And you can feel like you're failing at it. Because what if you forgot to push the button and you're in the middle of the snow and you don't know how to change?
Right, exactly. And like with my car, I know that if I do these things, it's going to put me into second gear and then I can go up the hill in the snow. Mm-hmm. With your brain, you're trying new things. There's no proof that what you're doing is going to work.
Until it's finished.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you might see progress along the way, but you've got to keep doing what you know will be true. Mm-hmm. The thing is there are things that we know will work. Right? They're proven. Other people have done them. Hundreds, thousands, millions of people have done them. But for some reason, it's just like exercise. Mm-hmm. We think that, even if I ran 5 miles every day and ate a healthy diet, I still would not lose weight. Even though I do nothing right now, I sit on a couch, like a potato all the time. But nope, it won't work for me. We tell ourselves stuff like that.
Yes.
Right? The thing is we personally don't feel that it's going to work for us. So when we're rewiring our brain, that feeling is kind of like the person that's on the couch being a potato and believing that it's not going to happen.
So you're saying that real change, just like anything, takes effort.
Oh, yes, it does take effort. And that effort that's consistent and persistent is what rewires your brain.
If the old way makes you so miserable and you're so tired of it, why does your brain keep going back to it?
It knows it. It knows it. Our brain doesn't optimize for happiness. It optimizes for predictability. So it might be painful, but it's known, not unknown.
So it sounds like my brain is fighting my own growth, fighting the way I want to go.
It's kind of more like protecting you
Okay.
from growth. Because, growing pains,
Yeah.
they're real, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't remember having growing pains, but one of my sons had real growing pains. He was very small until suddenly he grew. And that growth caused him a lot of pain. And that's what happens is we have pain when we grow. So it doesn't matter if it's physical, emotional, spiritual, all the different ways that we can grow. It can really stretch us, and that pulling and that stretching and having to think out of our own box that we've always been pinned in. If it's, changing our belief system, it's hard.
It is hard.
The pain hurts. The growth hurts. And so we self-sabotage. The self-sabotage is what makes people quit. In the middle of the mess, they feel like they're failing, and so they quit. If they didn't do that, if they went forward instead, if they just pushed through what they felt like was maybe even shame because they feel like they're failing, it's not real shame because they're actually growing. They just don't know it. They just
Right.
feel shame.
Stuff's going on, right?
Stuff's going on.
Things changing.
But there's also something to definitely make yourself feel better, maybe, is that fear is normal. Fear is something that we have when we do unfamiliar things. So growing your brain is the same. It's an unfamiliar thing. It's changing it to do something different, to think something different, instead of having the negative default, moving toward a positive default.
Sounds like we're giving into the ants in this middle part.
But your brain isn't trying to hurt you. It is giving into the ants. It's not your brain trying to hurt you, but the ants get in all those negative thoughts, those automatic negative thoughts that we've thought over and over and over again, just keep eating away at us. And that it can literally destroy us, just like a termite, destroys a house.
Right.
These ants, these automatic negative thoughts can take us down. We're not fighting a monster though. These ants, it's not a monster that we can't overcome because we can address them one at a time or one species at a time. So actually, we're kind of like negotiating an upgrade with ourselves.
This explains a lot. I can see now why somebody who sets a boundary and they feel guilty about it and then they take it back. Like with your kids. You feel bad because you're saying no and then you give in and it does nobody any good.
Yes. So like between you and I, we have this flexible schedule of when we might meet. And typically I'll say after 10:30. That's kind of my boundary. I've said it many times. and sometimes you'll slip in, how about 10? And works better for you. Once in a while, that's totally fine because it works better for you. But if you ask several times, then I might start to feel guilty one way or the other because I'm feeling guilty for having to say no or feel guilty that I am letting go of my own boundaries. So that guilt, the nervous system saying this boundary is unfamiliar. It feels like guilt, but it's not really a verdict. It's just a signal to me to tell me, oh, you're crossing your boundary. Maybe you want to think about this. This boundary isn't a hard line. It's not like I'm going to sin and go to hell because I went over the boundary. It's just a thing that I've said, this is what I need in my life. And I think one of the things with people who are moving towards change, getting out of the mess, is that they set these boundaries and then they put them in like stone. It can't be changed. There is no moving out. There's no flexibility. Mm-hmm. And that can really do a number on us.
Yeah, it can.
It can do a number on our relationships too. So we've got to learn that our neural ruts can change and we can be flexible.
How nice is that?
Super nice. We get to leave that known road that was before, and move into this better place. We have a boundary. This is our new path. This is our new place of feeling safe. We talk about that a lot, and that's okay, but we can also still be flexible. And when we feel that guilt, what does that feel like? Do you know what I'm talking about? What does that feel like to you?
Well, it feels like I should do something about it, but I don't want to do something about it.
Yeah, I think sometimes too, there's this bodily response. You know what I'm talking about? Like maybe I feel a tight chest, or I might clench my jaw, or sweat a little. My hands get sweaty. I don't know if other people's hands get sweaty, but mine do sometimes. It's a response to this thing I want to do, and then I'm not doing it, and I'm feeling like this tension, and I don't know what to do. But we've got to free ourselves from that. We've got to let ourselves have a break and know that there is no shame in moving towards what we want, this new way of thinking, this new form of exercise or health, without it being worse. So the funny thing is we're talking about all this, and maybe we should have brought this up first, but there's actually a real name for this, and it's called an extinction burst. So,
okay, explain that.
yeah, let's dig into it. So behavioral science calls it an extinction burst. It's a fancy name for a really simple idea, and it might actually reframe what you're going through. So when a behavior that used to be rewarded gets stopped, the brain doesn't quietly let it go. Think about a little kid in a grocery store. We've all seen them. We maybe all had them.
Some of us have.
Some of us at a grocery store, and they want ice cream. And they want to, no, or a popsicle, let's say popsicle. They want a popsicle that's on the shelf, and they're little. These are little people. They want that. And so they ask for it, and then they want to eat it right then. And so they're not getting what they want. So what do?
They throw a fit.
They throw a fit. They want that thing right now. And that's kind of what happens with us when we're trying to change something, is an extinction burst. We have kind of an explosion of, oh, this is not working. It's not going right. I hate myself. Let's quit. And all of those things. That's what it's called in psychology, is an extinction burst. And it's just like a little kid that's not getting what he wants. So the desire for doing the thing is still there, but all the negativity escalates. So it's harder, and it's louder, and it's more desperate. So it's just like we get this one last surge of, I want my way.
Yes. Your brain is throwing a fit.
Your brain's throwing a fit. Mm-hmm.
It wants the chips. It wants to go sit down instead of working out. It's throwing this little fit. Like you said, one last fit to see if it can get what it wants.
Yep. It's the messy middle. It's the messy middle of growth.
Can you give us a couple more examples of what you're talking about with this extinction burst?
If you're trying to have a healthier diet and you tell yourself, no, I'm not going to eat anything with sugar in it, then suddenly your cravings escalate.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, absolutely.
And if you see someone else with an ice cream cone or whatever your guilty indulgence is, you cannot, it's so hard that you feel like you can't withstand it.
Right.
And so that extinction burst, it is an escalation of your emotions telling you, I need this thing, I want this thing, I have to have this thing to be happy.
Okay. I get it.
Or to feel comfortable.
Oh, yes.
Maybe that's really, actually, I probably misspoke there. It's not happy. Our brain isn't wired for happiness. It's wired to stay familiar and comfortable.
Yes, that makes more sense because it wants to keep into that comfortable, we always do this. Let's just have another one kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. So speaking up for yourself, when you know you need to say something, have you ever been in maybe a small group and people are talking about ideas and maybe a plan to do something. And you're like, I know I need to say something here. That's not going to work. I know I need to say something. And you've decided prior to this that you are going to speak up because this group actually maybe even respects your wisdom, but you've never spoken up. You're just not that person. You're the quiet person. And the more that you've told yourself, I have to speak up. I have to speak up. I need to help them. The more your mind is saying, if you say that, you're going to sound stupid.
Nobody's going to listen to you.
Why would anyone listen to you? That's the kind of thing. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about extinction bursts. And I think it's so important that people know what this is because it's the messy middle that makes us feel like we're failing. And it doesn't matter what kind of situation it is.
Who would have known that that's what it was called? I never have heard of that. I've never seen a TikTok of anybody talking about this.
About an extinction burst. And honestly, you don't need to remember the term.
No, but it's cool to know.
It is cool to know. But you don't need to remember the term to realize that, oh, this is just the messy middle. This is where it feels bad. This is where I think I can't. This is where I feel like I'm failing. All of those things. That's what you need to remember is like, oh, okay, just recognize it, because when you recognize it, you can change your action. You can use your prefrontal brain cortex and then tell yourself, this is the messy middle. Just keep going. Put one foot in front of the other. It'll be all right.
This is that fit that my brain is throwing, and I just need to say, calm yourself.
Yes, that's right. I love that. So here's a caution. The stronger the language, I mentioned it before, if you say, I'll never eat sugar again. Anytime we say, I'll never do that thing, or I'll punish myself, or any type of really strong language, then the brain is more apt to rebel. So then if you give in during the burst, your brain learns that escalating works.
Just like the kids.
Just like the kids. Yeah. Mamas, don't give in to your babies.
Yes.
So then what happens? The burst gets stronger.
Another fit.
Just like a little kid. So that's why when we give in, when we turn back, when we don't keep moving forward, when we stop, when we pause, and we don't keep moving forward, it's harder the next time because your brain is rebelling harder. It's telling you, no, it's not worth it. Don't do it. But that's what growth's all about.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people have probably done this for most of their life, the giving into the fits. So I imagine when you actually determine and when you want to try to actually change, it's that much harder because of how many times, like you said, giving in.
Yeah, the history. And what is that called? It's called a neural rut.
Right.
We're in that neural rut deeply. Moving out of it, it takes persistence. And that is the thing that is hard, is just to keep on keeping on.
So how do you keep on keeping on?
That's a good question, Kim. I don't think there's a solid one sentence answer, but I do think that when we bite off more than we can chew all at once, it makes it much more difficult to keep on keeping on.
So trying to change too much.
Change too much all at once. A little bit at a time. And like I said before, not necessarily just one thing. Maybe it's one or two or three things that kind of all go together, or maybe completely separate. So it's easier. So you feel like it's one thing in this category, one thing in this category, and one thing in this category. Maybe you can do that, but we have to know ourselves. Where does the rebellion come? It comes when we start to do too much. That's for sure. We know that. But we have to know ourselves and how much we can handle. And
know that it's coming.
Yeah, that's right. Know that it's coming. We always like to talk about tools because they are the thing that you can put to use and change your life. We talk about naming things. So letting yourself know, oh, maybe you want to use the term extinction burst, or maybe you want to just say, this is the messy middle. Whatever you remember is totally fine, but just noticing it. And then labeling moves.
What does naming this do for you?
It engages the thinking brain. So it doesn't erase the feeling, but it engages the thinking brain. And that's really important because it puts you back into the driver's seat. Instead of being driven by emotion, you're then driven by your thinking brain. You can make decisions, logical decisions with clarity.
Okay, like what you actually want to do and not what you're trying to give into.
Exactly. And then there's the surge. Just expect that surge of emotions. Don't be surprised by it. You know that burst is going to come. And when you know it's coming, it loses its power. So when I set this boundary, I felt the fake guilt. I was feeling like a people pleaser. Oh, I know it's here. I'm feeling so guilty. Oh, no, I don't. Because I recognize it and go, yeah, my thinking brain's telling me, you don't need to feel guilty for having a boundary. That boundary protects you and it protects the relationship.
And it's getting you where you want to go.
That too. So if you can plan for it, like weather, you don't cancel your life because it's going to rain. You bring an umbrella.
You bring your tools.
You do. You bring your tools. And then regulating the body, not just the thoughts. Regulating your body is an important thing. So don't argue with the thoughts in this space. You just
It's hard not to, though.
It is. It's hard to think about nothing, too.
Right.
But if you can think about calming. So for me, when I'm doing meditation, I literally tell which parts of my body to relax. Like I speak to, okay, my neck, my shoulders, my chest, my arms. I talk through it. When you tell your body what to do, it listens. Your brain is powerful.
Right.
And it listens.
So your brain listens to you if you talk to it.
It does.
Okay.
So you need to regulate your body. Sometimes people will lie down. Sometimes people will match the mood. So if they are feeling anger, then they will do an angry dance,
Okay.
If they're feeling, and that can help. That can really help. And if you're feeling frustrated, maybe you jump up and down really hard or whatever. Sometimes matching the mood with your body helps to regulate it.
Okay.
Finding support is a really important thing. A counselor or a friend, but it just needs to be someone that aligns with your core values. You don't want to find your support with people who don't support your core values. Sometimes we want to do something in the moment, and if it's a friend, they're just going with you. Yeah, let's do this thing. Or even maybe a coach. They might go with you for a bit, but a good coach knows your core values. And they will challenge you and say, how does this line up with your core values? But you can do that for yourself too. So making sure that you are getting support from someone, at least one person, maybe it's a group of people that you're finding camaraderie with that helps you to keep going when it's hard.
For me, I think that's one of the most important tools to have in your toolbox is support, friends, from your spouse, from your brothers and sisters, whatever it is, somebody. I think that's probably trying to do this alone is the hardest.
Yeah, you need someone to remind you, you're in the messy middle. Keep going. You're going to be okay. It's going to work. Yeah, because the extinction bursts, they peak and then they drop. And that's great. And then that new pathway, it strengthens. And one day you realize that old pattern isn't haunting you anymore.
How awesome is that?
The new pattern is your new normal.
All right. So what is the practice for this week before we are finished here?
This week, just notice the discomfort of the growth as it shows up. And if you've set a boundary, note that it's your boundary, but it's okay to be flexible.
Just notice.
Just notice. You don't have to fix it. If you can name what you're feeling, the messy middle, the extinction burst, breathe through it, match your body to the emotion, and keep going.
If something landed for you today, share it with someone who needs to hear it. That's how we grow this community.
And when you're ready to take the next step, the Unafraid course is waiting for you at unafraidcourse.com. I'd love to coach you through it.
Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. And don't forget to check the show notes. And remember, your brain is listening.
So fear less, keep calm, live more, and listen on.